I look like that guy from News Radio that used to have a mustache. There's episodes of that when he had like a black beret on. Like the hat kind of. This is not a beret. It's really just like a little beanie cap. Um, a little cheap one, so it's like $1 one. So welcome to the show, everybody. It's Thanksgiving Day, so I'm gonna try to add this image to the Macy's 2021 New York Thanksgiving parade. So hello, good morning America, and everybody in New York City, Al Roker. And this year I was trying to read the heavy.com article, which you can look now on the internet. It'll be a little harder to find later on, so hopefully I can save it for you guys. It's kind of cool to read that stuff sometimes. But Carrie Underwood, I think, is listed as the one of the singers. There's several, of course, or many singers. You include the whole marching bands that are going to be there. Like, I could never list all their names. Those are literally thousands of people involved, including all their families. So thanks to everyone there. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the whole world, heaven and earth and across the galaxy. So it's a great time. So I just had my Thanksgiving dinner. I've been staring at that turkey for weeks actually, and then finally bought it. And my father cooked it. I just prepared the table and helped pay for it with my stimulus package. So thanks to all the people of the United States of America for saving for 400 years or longer. We might be older than that now. So, but yeah, trying to keep it festive. You're wondering what radio station's playing in the background. It's 104.1, so thanks to those guys. That's out of Houston, Texas. I'm not sure what the address is, but I hope to work with you guys and meet everybody there someday. So it's one of the stronger radio stations I can receive here in East Conroe. That's where I'm really located. And then there's 106.9. So we want just some pre-made music. But if you got internet in your home, you could always do a YouTube music channel. Just choose what you want. Just I actually haven't finished my internet system yet. So this house is brand new, so we still have to install like an Ethernet port and extra outlet and stuff. So I'm hoping I can get it done this week, but it's it's tiring to handle all the responsibilities of the family, or half. Let's say my wife does the other half, but then my parents and her parents help, so we all do like a tenth or less. How's the math work out? You got like 100 people in your family. So happy Thanksgiving, grandparents. My shirt actually, some people wonder what it says. A sweater. It says, "My grandkids are always and forever in my heart." Yeah, so thanks to the grandkids and the grandparents. So there you go, 97.1 Country Legends. Check out that radio station. Even if you're not from Houston, I just say it's out of Houston. Let you know where their main headquarters are, but they're actually streaming for free through their website, which you can look up through any major search engine, or any search engine. It'll probably come up, just 97.1 Legends Houston. Some can be streamed through the iHeart app. Sorry, I don't know for sure because I don't use that app. I have used it before, but it was a long time ago. And then another way you can sometimes listen to it is through YouTube. Sometimes There's a playlist there. There's songs. There's like real video of inside the studio, so you can see the DJs. Some have live streaming while they're broadcasting their shows. So most DJs work like a few hours, and then they go home or work in the studio off the mic. So you only see a limited amount of video, but it's pretty pretty normal. They don't do anything special besides work and talk and set up the music, and sometimes if they're lucky they'll interview a singer or a musician or maybe a songwriter. So I just wish they would get more local talent in, sometimes even remotely, like calling somebody on Skype or whatever. I hope to be on the radio station someday. I have once on like Radio Disney. My voice was on there, but I don't think I even got to say my name. It was like a few seconds when I was in middle school. Actually, I was attending Kenmore Junior High. So, which is weird to go into junior high first and then going, because their system was different. There wasn't really a dedicated middle school. It was combined. In Monroe, there was actually a separate campus and building from Monroe Middle, which is near Highway 2, and then there's like another road that goes there where there's like a football field. On this side is like the classrooms, and then there was, that time it was called Monroe Junior High, which I heard it was the high school at one point. Before the new high school was built in like the year 2000 or 99, even though the funding for that had been saved for centuries, let's say, like forever, from God in heaven himself. So this year, I'm trying to figure out the balloons. I saw a few photos of them inflating the balloons yesterday, and then the guards trying to watch them overnight, and then people setting up the strings and trying to organize them in order, and then the floats. So there seems to be still a Pikachu balloon, and then there's other balloons in there that I don't remember. I remember seeing recently like what is it? Like there's a character that's new. Like not troll. What is it? I like the trolls, but there's like other characters I can't remember now. Like Sonic's been in there before, and then there was the Power Rangers and stuff. So the new Power Rangers was the ones that used to do the TV show in the 90s. I think all have retired from that job. Semi-retired. So, and I'll try to put a link to, but by now the broadcast is already done already, I think. And then hopefully somebody's put a recording of that on YouTube. Hopefully NBC, I think, is the one that does like the major broadcasts. So hi everybody at NBC. So I'd like to make an NBC affiliate right here in Conroe. So yeah, if you're wondering if Houston, other cities have Thanksgiving parades around the world. There's different Thanksgiving days. Like Canada has a Thanksgiving, I think, in December. Or not December, October. And then Australia Day, I heard, is kind of like the Thanksgiving Day of Australia. So that's a totally different day than ours in the USA, which is usually the 25th of November, because some holidays follow the day of the week. Like it's always like a Thursday for Thanksgiving, while some holidays in America, and I guess it's every other month, follows the exact number, like the 25th of December. It doesn't change, and hasn't changed in my whole life, and I've read in history books it's been that way for over a century, I guess, or close to a century, or longer. So I'm kind of excited about the songs, new songs, the singers. Sometimes there's a Korean band. What is that? That one Korean band that like always is famous in New York now. The BYO or something. And that's kind of cool. There's country music singers in there now, and later on we'll get even more variety, and maybe the choir will go with the marching bands, and then a lot of other great things. There might be like a whole Thanksgiving month of music, so virtually there is, and there's a lot of concert venues this whole month. So congrats to everybody who got to go. Because I guess technically I go to church. I always hear a concert, so I just don't count that as like the how do you call it, like your like holiday famous. I've never got to see like a Macy's parade in person. Plus, during the Macy's broadcast, there's also the some of the Broadway shows. The groups actually perform a little bit, on that stage on the street in front of the original Macy's on 34th Street. So that's kind of interesting. So check that out too. I enjoy that, because I've honestly never seen a Broadway show in person. I've seen some and performances on the Tony Awards, like on YouTube. And before YouTube ever existed, I saw it on television, network TV, sometimes on other video media. So, yeah. So if you're wondering what my name is, I don't say. Somebody criticized them. They say, you don't say your name when you video. I tend not to do that, because you kind of you feel kind of selfish and feel kind of too proud about it. It feels arrogant, but it's Anh-Kim Phung, if you're wondering. So I'll try to put that in the description. I try to shove it in the title, but sometimes I like kind of being anonymous, and people, like asking what my name is and learning it later. Because the priority for me is God. That's why I've tried to put God so much in the title, and everybody else. I'm the least, definitely, in almost every category. Would not be impressive, my stats. I almost sound like that Dr. Squid from Futurama. Yeah, I don't know. Fry. Like, he has that weird. I don't know how that guy does that voice without like using his hand. I actually had to put my hand in front of me. So, yep. Then there's Thanksgiving episodes of your favorite shows. I'm a Simpsons fan, even though I know some of the episodes are horrible, especially the horror house stuff. It doesn't look right. Family Guy. What else is another show I really like? I like, was it Bless the Hearts or something? That one's kind of cool, but it has like a Jesus character in there. South Park's fun sometimes. I know I'm listing cartoons. Star Trek Discovery. The fact that you don't see any damn holiday in the show. There's just like no birthdays, just always trying to defend the Federation. It's kind of daunting. I'm like, can we get 26 episodes a season, and there's not even like 2 minutes of something happy for a while? I would rewrite all of Star Trek, honestly. I want to like make another version of Star Trek. Retitle it to call it like Heaven and Earth Trek. To Star Earth or something. The term star is confusing, but what you look up at the sky and assume as a star could be a planet, could be a sun, could be a moon. you know, most likely it's those things. So, and then, oh, hello, Amara, and all my children in the future who watch this, and grandchildren. Yes, Grandpa is still here. In spirit, I'm right next to you, or almost inside of you, like a little Holy Spirit. Don't be afraid. I'm easy. So God bless everyone. God bless us all too. You know, it's a day of Thanksgiving and blessings. So we need to expand that title a little, I think, internationally, especially in America. But it sounds a little secular and atheist when we just go Thanksgiving, because there's always that commandment of not using God's name in vain. But you could put, you know, God, blessings, and thanksgiving, or in thanks, so, or gifts, God's gifts and thanksgiving, or something like that. Gotta work out the title, something. For those who are comfortable with that. You know, there's times where we all go atheistic and they're always so upset with God because we didn't get what we want or need yet. It's hard sometimes, you know. But really, if you look at that, you know, there's times where it's easy and nothing and light, and there's just a burden on it. And there's times where it's average. So you have to expand kind of your feeling, your view. And then the hard times you have are few. When you're in your average moments. When you're inside there, your hardest times, it's like the hardest thing. It's like feeling like the weight of a mountain on you. So I pray for all those, including myself, for that time to pass quickly and to prevent that from happening. Really, it seems to happen when you lack something really basic. You can't get to your savings or your family or your transportation or sometimes your store, your food, or you don't get your, what do they call it, your comfort things, more than just the food and drink. Sometimes it's medicine you need. So, and your best doctor, you find out, is God and yourself, or the Holy Spirit that's been given to you. So, and those who share information freely or inexpensively, you know, they're really trying to help people. So they're just lucky to be first to repeat something they learned. So they're not the originators. And so, and yep. So please like and subscribe. If you want me to like and subscribe and all my family do it, please put that in the comments and we'll try to do that for you. And then the financial support thing, I'm trying to just collect only $1. And some people want to be anonymous or use like a nickname, that's fine. But I would hope we can record it somehow where I never take a second one. And then once I've made profit, I can pay back the full amount. So I'm trying to keep those records here. So in the comments, you know, if I do owe you someday, please remind me. So, as you become a lifetime sponsor, so I want to keep my word on that. And then for special projects, I want to, you know, do the work first. And then if you're satisfied with that, then, you know, payment afterward. So, I'm tired. I am really full. And, I mean, trying to get work done all year long, so I think that's it. And I really wish sometimes I had focused on getting the internet connection done here, so I could communicate with the family and do my online works, and then work on my in-person. It just seems easier to do things on the computer and online versus the hard copy and print out, and then you mail it. Even if I mail crap to everybody on earth, somehow could afford that, I think like half of it would get lost and just like tossed out. So it seems like maybe they pray for you, but they're not actually gonna use your service. So it seems like a waste, and I never really figured out how do you know who needs it. So, and does it have to be that many copies? Like sending one to every address seems excessive. Like being able to post like a nice outdoor sign, like maybe one per street seems more efficient. You know what I mean? The same amount of money, but like a little, like 20 by 20 sign. And then the problem is with your sign, how do you design it where people can trust it and get all the information they need? You put a website. Some people don't want to visit it. You put images. There's only a couple images. It's hard to trust. Even if you have like a TV stuck to it and play it, people aren't going to watch it. Or they'll watch it decades later, which is okay. I can't do all the work in 1 year anyways. So I guess I got to work that out somehow. All right. And so this is kind of like an ongoing vlog here. So I want to know how you guys are doing. What are you working on? Put that in your comments, or you can put your video response. Especially my family. Hey Philip, what are you doing? Look at my cousin hasn't like a lot of my cousins haven't replied on Messenger. And I try to call their phone numbers, and I can't even get to their voicemail. Or leave a voicemail, I don't get a voicemail back, and then my number's not working. So I'm sorry about that. It's hard to make work all the time. And then, it's weird not getting a reply back for decades from somebody who's like a direct relative of you, We literally have the same grandparents, so we're not even in-laws, so it's weird. We've met before, so it's just we never, even the ones I lived next to for decades, it was hard to get in contact with. Even if you drive up to their house, you don't know when they're going to be home. I wish I had a little transponder on them, like on their wrist or something, or on their phone that could help me know where the heck they are. So, or check the DOT cam, be like, oh, okay, they're driving home. Okay, let's go visit them. So sorry, I haven't visited everybody, but it's tough. Especially now that I'm in Houston, I'm a little far, so. Let's see. So Uncharted, I've been trying to watch that Uncharted 4. I never saw much of the first 3 games. I never played any of those games. I actually haven't played many games for a few years now. And like not the PlayStation and console and on like the high-end PC games. I play like emulator games, but those are all low-end. They save your computer though. So if you know about laptops, how fragile they may be, your tablets, they do use less power, and sometimes the games are faster. They're more difficult sometimes, but you make more progress in the game than the newer games, which have a lot of repetitive like action. Like you watch Uncharted 4, you're shooting the same gun like for like 20 hours. Not 20 hours, but in like the 20 hours of gameplay you get in there, you might be using the same weapon. It's the same animation. It looks like the same guy. All the Shoreline guys look like copies of each other, like they're all twins. It looks like the guy respawned somewhere else in the game with a different pair of clothes, right? And I know how hard it is to make those character models and then have enough space and then import them, make them work and all that. But it's really in a software team. If you ever worked for a software company, there's only like a few dozen people working on things. There's never like, like thousands of people all working on it at the same time. Otherwise, there'd be a lot more done. So it's like a few people, like the top 20, who do almost all the work on the game. So, like the assembly of the game, like the actual, like modeling images have been done by other people over years that they import from other software into the new software companies. So they're reused actually. But they're made new because it's like a new design and modeled after places that people have never seen. And Uncharted 4 looks amazing. That part and the music sometimes is real nice. Elena's voice, that character, sounds so familiar. I think I watched like a whole series with that. I haven't had a chance to look up who is the real voice of Elena. And then I haven't caught episode 23, so I hope to download that today. I don't know what happened to Sam. All of a sudden I don't see Sam. They get separated in the story. It's weird. It's like Sam's just gone, and then like Sullivan's like by himself flying around on the airplane waiting for them forever. It's like weird what he's like. So where's the rest of Sullivan's family? The characters are kind of like you don't see the whole story, or like the main part of the story. It's kind of weird. Where's Sullivan's parents? And then and then you don't see the real treasure. I got to the point where they got to the treasure room and the assumption it's like the 10 of the pirates are there and only Thomas Tew and Henry Avery survived. So that was kind of strange. Because the story is there's $400 million, but they don't give you a stat or an image of exactly what the treasure is. Is it a bunch of pieces of gold and jewelry, like a stereotypical? But there's like treasure boxes here and there, but you open it up and there doesn't seem to be much in there. And then the idea that like 400 years later everybody else failed and haven't been able to find it, but only like Elena, Sullivan, and Nate and Sam could find him. It's like a ridiculously improbable story. You would think like all that treasure is like in some like different treasuries around the world or people's homes or they even say it like, is any of it left by then? So, and then some crap's gonna happen once they find it. Like Rafe's gonna go nuts or capture them or fight them, or like Nadine did the same thing. They want it all. They want to eliminate the other side. It's so damn dark, or wicked. I find that sad. They were on the same side of the beginning of the story, so they should. I don't know why nobody can write one of those in the whole game story. Even in children's books, if you look closely, it doesn't look right. Is there any time where we just have like some regular peace and people just share the treasure and we're all happy? So I'd really like to do that. Just rewrite the Uncharted story and then work on the game. It'd be amazing. Use the same places, but just have something like easier. The Shoreline guys actually talk to you, and you can actually share treasure, and there's actually some treasure at the beginning of the game, or at least in the first hour, because the suspense that you wait for the end, I guess that builds up kind of a climax or zenith in the story that's most exciting. But it just seems like a lot of extra work. But most people will never play that game all the way through. They don't even have the hardware to do it or the free time, you know. So it'd be kind of nice to. I want to see what happens. I think Rad Brad was saying there's like at least 23 parts to the game or chapters, and I'm not sure what chapter it is. I've got up to video number 30. It's just weird recently, like I swear I press and I download like 3 parts, but the one in the middle keeps disappearing. I'm like, is that my eyes playing tricks on me, or is it because I gotta jump between websites to do it, because I don't have YouTube Premium yet, even though I work for YouTube. Which is ridiculous, right? So, which I don't need all the premium services. I wouldn't be able to use it right now. I'm actually just wishing you could download stuff sometimes. I wish I could stream it and not download it. To be honest, I just don't have all of those services ready at my at this home. I do in Vietnam, but not here. So that's been a pretty cool story. I remember originally when I watched Uncharted 4, I just watched like 2 clips, and it's like the scene where they're chasing Sam, and Sam's like on a train or something, and Sullivan and Nate are on that Jeep, and they go down the hill, and they go through a port and it blows up, and then Sam's on a motorcycle, and then there's a lot of action in there. That's kind of cool. That's different. Was in other games where you get more cinematic scripting, and it's a little too boring to watch. Cinematics parts, and they just have a little bit of action. But you definitely get like plenty of action, which is pretty fun. It's just there's little things I wish I could program, like being able to aim a little better. Like being able to shoot around the corner, being able to see a little better in the scope, or being able to interact, like make a deal with Rafe. Okay, because in the beginning they said Rafe was going to give Vargas 25%, right? And they were going to split it evenly as equals or something. And I wish they would have just went with that. They just split it between everybody, and whoever finds it first just calls the rest and takes their share and go, It was like, how could you possibly, if it's like, valuable jewels, and they're on that dinky little duck plane. There's no way like $400 million of crap is going to fit on that plane. And then they only had a Jeep that they lost. How would you even load it? They don't even have like a hand cart. All the ruins they go to are falling apart. Like the bridges constantly fall apart in the game, or the elevator, or even the mountainside. And then the buildings, like the floor is already collapsed. I'm not, really that stuff might have like rusted out halfway. So it'd be nice if the story was a little more reasonable, and then you had more kind of like The Sims. I don't like how repetitive The Sims are, but some interaction with Elena, and being able to, like the whole playing PlayStation, and being able to go in the kitchen and be like a normal person for a while is kind of nice. Always being the gun-tooting, stereotypical Indiana Jones American, and using a whip over and over again. I think playing it is more fun, but like it seems kind of painfully boring to do that like dozens of times in the same game because of a lack of half new content. I know everything's not really new, but they're not the first one to do it. Like Tomb Raider had kind of the same thing. So they're not even the oldest one. It's just how to actually program that is what I've been trying to figure out for years. So if you have any ideas about that, please share that in the comments. So, but I like the story. You know, Nathan Drake is a cool character. He has like some really nice lines. I like Sullivan. He's kind of like that A-Team guy. Remember that? What was that guy's name? I always like imagine him just to use lines from other movies all of a sudden. Be like, I love it when a plan comes together. I like his key line sometimes. Like he's like, I'm not one of those guys that are no news is good news kind of. So stay in touch. And then actually being able to use like a hover, because the standard planes can't hover, and use it to help you in the story instead of climbing the entire mountain. Just getting the helicopter or octocopter or air taxi up there and be done with it. You know, like how it, what's that channel? How It Should Have Been, or you know, what they should have done, or whatever. That would have been easier. Or get the Marvel's characters and just jump up like the Hulk, or fly like Iron Man, or open a portal like Cisco from the Flash, or even the Flash just running fast up there, or anything. Even just getting a hot air balloon. Like, it's weird that they always have to do it. It's like, oh my god, it takes so long. It's like episodes of hours to climb just one area of a mountain. Zigzag, even on the Jeep and stuff, and then fight everybody is nuts. They don't even say anything to you, they just start shooting. And they all have like, they seem to have unlimited ammo. I know how, if you watch Brad play, no matter how long he hides, one of the guys has like another nade, and another nade, and another nade. And even when you die and the game reloads, he still has more ammo. That's kind of a cheat I always hated, you know. It's like the same thing in Mario, the, you know, the, what is it, King Oompa Loompa, or the turtle dragon guy with spikes. Like, never stops firing. That's crazy. Or not never stops, but he has a lot of ammo. There's never a time where he runs out of ammo, which is not realistic. So, at least in this world, you know. So I wish there were nicer options, because I'm one of those people who thinks if the stories that people hear, even in music, affects people at least one point in their life, it may not feel like it makes any difference for like 100 years, but there's like that one day which people had a better example, you know, that was right in front of them, and they could follow it when they needed it. Because when real shootings happen, it's real sad to hear those stories. But I wish they would add people's souls are still alive, and their body's just really half a life there, and then they'll come back someday. So there's always that missing part where the news guy just kind of stares because the teleprompter doesn't have the rest of that. Even in Christian news, it's weird that that line is like everywhere in the Bible, but not in popular media all the time. Sometimes it is, but not all the time. Sorry, I'm blowing my nose and stuff. When it gets a little cold, like before under 70 degrees, I tend to have a little runny nose. It's minor, so that's it for this video. Blog journal from AKP is what my initials are, but it stands for Anh-Kim Phung. So that's my legal name. So thanks everybody for watching. So I'm gonna end this video now, and then we'll see if we can do something else. So God bless everyone forever with eternal happiness and everything. And we'll see you in the next vid. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Everything you guys do. You're the best audience in the universe.